G'day, friends. Welcome to Beneath the Beats. In the last episode, we discussed the Rev and his iconic drum setup, style, and what his evolution looked like in his time with Avenged Sevenfold, leaving an incredible legacy, but someone had to take the seat. And we all knew this was a tough task. I mean, you are following one of modern metal's most influential drummers. But someone came to the table. Brooks Wackerman! We love Brooks Wackerman here, and when he joined Avenged Sevenfold in 2015, rather than recreating what Jimmy the Rev Sullivan brought to the band, Brooks brought a playing style and musical identity entirely his own. I mean, by this point in his career, he was already one of rock's most well-respected drummers. Works with Bad Religion, Suicidal Tendencies, Tenacious D, all contributed to this. His versatility, consistency, and musicality meant he was a good fit to take on this role with Avenged Sevenfold. We're going to discuss one of his mammoth setups that he has on tour now, and we'll look at how this compares back to the Rev's snakeskin DW kit that we discussed in the last episode. All right, so before we get stuck into the setup, let's talk about Brooks's playing. His intricate fills and effortless technique never feel excessive because every note serves the song. And this made Brooks a natural fit for Avenged Sevenfold, bringing a fresh perspective while still respecting the band's identity. And perhaps nowhere is Brooks's approach more evident than with his drum setup, where every drum, cymbal, and piece of hardware is placed with precision to support this playing style. All right, and I wanted to show you guys some vision here of Brooks playing the stage live with Avenged Sevenfold. Have a go at this. Featuring the drum kit we're talking about. Now, how is that for some precision? That kick work, man.
The moment Jack realized he has to get better at drums.
All right, friends, quick interruption to say thank you, and if you are getting anything out of today's show, please feel free to like and subscribe to the channel. Helps keep the show on the road and helps bring more drum brains in like us to chat drums, which is essentially what we want. Now, back to the show. Let's get stuck into the Brooks Wackerman Avenged Sevenfold setup that I'm featuring today off one of his most recent touring cycles. And you guys may have seen this before. It was featured in a drum setup breakdown with his drum tech on Drumeo. So shout out to Drumeo there. But I have digitally recreated this for the purpose of this video and to sort of sit it side by side with the Rev's snakeskin setup that we featured in the last video. So we can see what's changed, how these players are different with their setup. So this is Brooks' one. Now, Brooks has mentioned in interviews that after using wood shells most of his career, he opted for acrylic shells as they produce a sound that sits nicely in the live mix of Avenged Sevenfold. Now, acrylic shells increase attack projection and are a great option for fast-paced metal. So here we have it, and as you can see, epic looking setup. I'm loving these bigger setups lately and featuring these on this channel, and you guys have asked for them, so here we are. Now, I've done my best, obviously, to recreate this based off articles and specs from reliable sources. Now, as you'll notice, Brooks has less regular toms than what Rev had on his snakeskin setup, so these ones here. However, Brooks extends the possibility of orchestration through the addition of these DW red Rata Toms, also known as octobans, or I think Pearl called them rocket toms. And these create a sick melodic element to fills and solos, which we'll look at shortly in a video. Let's get stuck into the specs. Now, we have two kick drums here. These are both 22 by 16. So pretty standard size kick drums there. And these would pack a lot of punch being acrylic. Now, let's step up to the tom sizing. We have here a 10 by 9, a 12 by 9, a 13 by 9, And down to the floors, we have a 15 by 15 and a 16 by 16. Now, as you'll notice, these rack toms here are all the same depth. So maybe an aesthetic thing, but I think that's pretty cool. It definitely looks very pleasing to the eye. Same depth, obviously at different diameters. So they're going to produce a different tone, obviously. But yeah, pretty cool little tom setup there. Now, these Rata Toms, or Octobans, if you will, we have a 6 by 14 and an 8 by 17 this side. Now let's have a look at some vision of Brooks playing these Rata Toms live. Now this is with the clear acrylic kit, which we've seen in the past of Brooks. Now just have a listen to these. They sound rad. Super melodic. But yeah, they just have a nice cut to them and really add to the orchestration of fills and drum solos. Shout out to anyone who's playing Octobans or Rata Toms or Rocket Toms for that matter. And we did a segment on Joey Jordison which featured those Rocket Toms, but he had multiple, a bit more than Brooks. Let's go back to the setup. You'll see a snare drum here, which is a custom snare drum, 14 by 7 steel snare drum by YC Drum Company. Now, I don't know too much about this drum company or these snares, but shout out to those guys. So that rounds out the shells in the drum department. Now let's step up to the cymbals. Now, as you'll see here, Brooks has a pretty impressive looking cymbal setup. And like the Rev, made good use of effect cymbals. So as you'll see here, China and a bit of a stack going on here. So the Rev surrounded himself with creative options that were exciting and unpredictable. However, Brooks prioritizes efficient movement. And I did see an interview where he mentioned the reason why these cymbals are a bit lower and sort of the angle they are is because it was ergonomically comfortable for Brooks, which makes a lot of sense. And as you'll see, like, look how tight in everything is. Really close. And this is wild, this ride cymbal down here, like super low. It definitely doesn't make sense to a lot of players seeing that, but it obviously works for Brooks. And it is ergonomically comfortable for him. All right, and I wasn't saying that Brooks didn't get creative with his cymbal setup. Side tangent here. Have a look at the size of this little 12-inch, or what appears to be a 12-inch hi-hat here. Now, Brooks rips this out in a live version of Metal here. Now, on the recording, you can hear something similar. Whether he was using the exact same set of hats, I'm not sure. But this just sounds rad. Now, obviously, you guys have probably seen this in his setup. He has featured a gong. And in his Drumeo interview, mentioned that his balls had finally dropped. So there we go. Let's go through the cymbal sizing here, and we'll go left to right. So over here, we have a 22 prototype Exist ride. Here, we have a 19 Exist Dry Dark Brilliant Crash. These cymbals look really rad. Hey, I love the patterns on these cymbals. Now, stepping down here, we have a set of 15 traditional jazz hi-hats to the left. And then up here, we have a 21 Dark Brilliant Crash. So this is an Exist Dark Brilliant Crash. Now, this cymbal here, super interesting cymbal. This one is a stack. This features a 12 Exist Power Splash on top, and then a 14 Turk China on the bottom. Now, this is that stack in action with Avenged Sevenfold Live. Let's have a listen. Sounds mid. It's got a nice cut to it too. So yeah, that is the stack that Brooks uses on this kit. So if anyone was wondering, that is what it sounds like. We have a 19 Exist Brilliant Crash on this side. Then we go down to a 22 Exist Power Ride here. A 17 Exist Dark Brilliant set of hi-hats. So obviously the dual hi-hat setup, he's got one on the left, one on the right, different, bringing different voices to the drum setup and different dynamics. Up here, a China cymbal, which is a 20 Exist Ion China, and then I think that's how you say it. I'm not an Istanbul player, but hopefully that's how you say it. Down here, we have an 18 Brilliant Exist Crash. As I said, I've never played Istanbul, but they seem like awesome cymbals, and they really have some nice effect stuff going on. Gong at the back there, which is a 34-inch gong. So that rounds out Brooks's cymbals and drums. Now, other gear to mention is his pedals, DW9000. These are really good pedals. I own one myself and I am absolutely loving it. I have the extended footboard because I've got big feet. All DW hardware, obviously. So in terms of drum heads, I did see he was using pinstripes live in some of these live sets. So this is what I've featured on the toms. Now, controlled sound on the Rata Toms, octobans there, and on the kick drums. I assume P3, I didn't actually confirm that, but obviously drum heads prone to change show to show. So it's hard to kind of keep up with that. And I did see he used controlled sound clear on the snare. I have featured a coded head on this because I saw he used those too. Now, that is pretty much it. Let's just add the throne right here for effect because we didn't add the throne. Now, he uses rock and sock thrones, but oh, come on, Drumstructor. Now, here we go. Real time. Oh, we got 2 thrones. Oh, no. Oh, 3. Oh, gosh. No, we don't need 3 thrones. I mean, oh, God. This is real-time editing, guys. This is real-time editing. Oh, what have I done? Oh, God. Real-time editing, Drumstructor. Now, let's delete a couple of these thrones. We don't need 3 thrones. I don't think Brooks is needing that. So that's the throne. There we are. We've polished the kit off in real time. All right, so I do find it fascinating that between the Rev's iconic snakeskin setup by DW and Brooks's modern red acrylic setup, how different the setups can be, but it's the same band. And I did find this fascinating. That's why I wanted to create these episodes as a bit of an insight into the difference between the Rev and Brooks. Obviously, both great players, and mad respect Brooks had for the Rev too, stepping into his role. He is sorely missed. But I wanted to get your opinion, guys. Which drum kit are you taking to the stage in terms of these two? Do you prefer the Rev setup or do you like Brooks's setup? Keen to hear the feedback in the comments, guys. But until next time, take care and rock on. We'll see you in the next video. Cheers, guys.